Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we're going to be going over the 5 reasons you should and the 5 reasons you should not buy a Acura RSX. We just did one on the Acura Integra, and as you guys know, yes, this handsome lad, own an Acura Integra, and so it was fun to talk about that one. But now we're going to talk about the Acura RSX, and I do not own an Acura RSX. I don't own most of the cars that we do these style videos on, so this is a part of the video where I should mention that since I don't own it, I'm basically just going off of owner reports or forums or things like that, just common complaints, whatever, or just things I've heard in the community as a whole. And so not all of this is 100% fact, and if you have owned one and I get something wrong, or if you think there's something else that's major that I should have mentioned in this video, by all means, the comments are public. I do not want to spread misinformation despite what people think I am, despite what people think I want to do. But the way this works, in case you're new here, is first I go over one good thing about the car, then one bad thing, one good thing, one bad thing, until we get to 10 total, 5 each obviously, and then at the end of the video I tell you my final thoughts on the car. Okay? Yeah. Media of the day is Inglourious Bastards. It's a Quentin Tarantino film. I don't know why I did that. That's not fancy at all, but it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, and it's absolutely a banger. One of my weaker Quentin Tarantino movies in my personal opinion, but it doesn't matter, man. It could be the worst Quentin Tarantino movie and it's still going to be a good movie. That guy knows movies, in my opinion at least. I think he's an incredible director, dude. So go give it a watch if you haven't already. It's incredible. It's a really weird war story movie. It's not like a typical war movie that you would think of when you think of a war movie. It's really interesting. It's cool. Go give it a watch. But without further ado, let's go right into it with 5 reasons you should and 5 reasons you should not buy an Acura RSX. And reason number 1 why I think you should buy an Acura RSX is the pricing of them. Now, there's no denying the fact that the Type S's are starting to get a little bit ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie, in terms of their price, and you're probably gonna want the Type S, but the base models are about just as cheap as an Acura Integra base model, and in my personal opinion, I think they're actually the overall better car. I know it might be blasphemy to say, but I own an Integra, and before I bought my Integra, I was actually looking for RSXs on Facebook Marketplace. I would always look up RSXs until one day I came across my Integra, and it was just a good deal, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna get that instead. But I really do think that they're overall the slightly better option, at least for me personally. I mean, it's all the personal opinion, but I think personally it's better for me, and the price of that isn't that drastic. And if you really compare them to each other, yeah, the Type S is expensive, sure, and it's more expensive than a normal Integra LS, but if you compare the GSR Integras and the Type S RSXs, again, they're around the same price. And so for the price of them, it really is still a bargain deal. Yes, they're getting overpriced, don't get me wrong, and they definitely, I do wish that they were cheaper than what they are, but when you compare them to an Integra or other JDM legends, this is still relatively cheap, and I think it's a good point. However, reason number 1 why I think you should not buy an Acura Integra or RSX, Jesus, it's going to get all over the place now because I have Acura Integra in my mind while also talking about the RSX. They're very similar. They are literally the same car. Well, not the same. This is an Integra. It's called the Honda Integra overseas, for those who don't know. And so it's literally just the next generation, and so it's just going to get stuck in my head. But either way, the reason number 1 why I think you should not buy one is the sound of them. Again, I said this with the Integra video, and I'm going to say it again with this car. It's a Honda, and it's an inline 4. The V6 Hondas already don't even sound that good, let alone their inline 4s. I've grown to like it, I'm not gonna lie, with my Integra. I actually kind of enjoy it a little bit. It's a weird feeling. It's not like the same, you don't like it the same way you like a big roaring American V8, but you like it in its own little sense. But there's no denying the fact that there are definitely a lot of people in the car community that do not like the sound of Hondas. They think they sound horrible, and if you're one of those people, no harm, no foul, no judging here. That's totally fine. A lot of people think like you, and so if you don't like the sound of them, that might be a end game, or what the hell is the word I'm looking for there? I don't know. However, reason number 2 why I think you should buy an Acura RSX is the aftermarket support and the potential of the car as well. So not only does it have really good aftermarket support, you can buy pretty much just about anything for pretty much just about any price point. There's all kinds of companies making all kinds of parts for RSXs, but on top of that, the motor is going to want to build power. There are cars out there like the 350Z, for example, where it's they have a ton of parts available for them. They have the aftermarket support, but unfortunately the potential isn't really there, right? The VQ35 is just not the best for building power on it. But these cars come with K-Series, and obviously, I don't think I have to be the one to tell you this, but obviously K-Series are an incredible inline 4. One of the most incredible inline fours of all time, and also one of Honda's best series of motors out there as well. The motor is incredible for building power, and you have a ton of options for whatever price point you're on to do so as well. It's just a good all-around thing. However, reason number 2 why I think you should not buy an Acura RSX is the space. Both cabin and cargo space on this car is definitely lackluster. However, I don't own one of these cars, but I did take one for a test drive because I was looking for one before I bought my Integra. And I will say the cabin space in this car felt a little bit better than the Integra's cabin space, but not by like a significant amount. And that's one of my biggest complaints with my Integra. I like almost everything about my Integra, except for the fact that I'm a 6'1" guy in a car that's clearly not built for a 6'1" guy. And if you're any taller than I am, you're going to be even more uncomfortable. And these cars have pretty much the same problems there. Again, it has a little bit more cabin space and a little bit more cargo space as well, but it's still definitely not a car that's up to standards with what like people nowadays are going to want in terms of spacing, especially if you go from like an SUV to this. Like if your first car was like a freaking Honda Pilot or something, and then you go to this as like your next car, it's gonna catch you off guard. It's something that I feel like people don't really think about a lot is space and how much it actually matters, but it does. It's also another thing too, where it's like if you are the type of guy like me who loves driving people around, like I love to drive people around, mainly because I hate being passenger. It gives me like the heebie-jeebies. But if you're one of those guys that likes driving people around, you really can't. Like I've never really had anybody in the backseat of my Integra, and it's going to be the same with your RSX, unfortunately. However, reason number 3 why I think you should buy an Acura RSX, and this is, it's just obvious. It's the reliability, the Honda reliability. I mean, Honda and Toyota are like both synonymous with the word reliability. When you think of a reliable car, you think of Hondas, you think of Toyotas, and the Acura RSX is no different. The K-Series is extremely reliable. The transmissions on these cars are very reliable. The suspension on these cars are very reliable. The diff is very reliable. Just about everything about this car is pretty reliable. The only slight problems you may run into, we'll talk about a little bit older, but mainly are just things that come with age and has nothing to do with the engineering of the car itself. The engineering of the car was incredible, and it shows. You can find Type S RSXs, Type S RSXs with 250,000 miles on it, still running perfectly strong, and the motor is going to be perfectly fine. So it's obviously a no-brainer. Reliability is a good part about this car. However, reason number 3 why I think you should not buy an Acura RSX kind of leans back into the reliability thing a little bit, and is one of the things that just comes with age: rust. I cannot tell you the amount of RSXs I went to look at. Unfortunately, it was probably like around 10. I probably went and looked at around 10 RSXs. And I'm not even joking when I say this. Almost every one of them had a rust problem. Now, this is just a problem that's going to come with age. These cars are over 20 years old at this point. Obviously, it's bound to happen. But these seemed a little bit more drastic than other 20-year-old cars. I don't know if it's because people weren't taking care of them. I don't know if it's because the car is lower to the ground than people expect it to be, and so when they drive it during the winter, the salt gets up there and just chews away at it or whatever. But it just seems like these cars struggle with a rust problem more than any car that I personally have gone and seen. I'm not saying they're the worst car out there when it comes to rust. There's obviously worse cars. It's just in my personal life, these cars have severe rust issues. So make sure you're really looking over it before you buy your RSX. And once you do buy your RSX, make sure you take care of it. And if you can afford to, don't drive it when the roads are all salted and crappy. However, reason number 4 why I think you should buy an RSX, I also said this for my Integra video because it applies to every single Honda known to mankind, because it's the community behind them. There is quite literally no community I have ever seen in my entire lifetime as cool as the Honda community. And yes, I'm glazing them. I don't care. The Honda community is the best sub-community, sub-genre, whatever you want to call it, of car guy out there. It doesn't matter what Honda you're driving. If you've modified it in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, they love you. That's all there is to it. They want you in their club. Doesn't matter if you're in a CRV, doesn't matter if you're in an RSX, doesn't matter if you're in a Civic, doesn't matter if you're in an Integra, Prelude, Accord. Hell, it doesn't even matter if you're in an Odyssey, dude. They like the Odysseys, as a matter of fact. The Del Sols. This is the only community under the sun that allows their minivans to be a part of their community. Just want to put that out there. Like there are other communities out there that are pretty cool, like the VQ community. But you think about, the VQ community isn't very cool. I was just thinking about them though. The VQ community is another community in the car community. But only VQs are allowed in. You know, it's not like every Nissan. Like if you have a Sentra, you're not a part of the Nissan community. You know what I mean? It's just Honda. And it's super cool to see that. The community behind these guys is incredible. They'll help you. They'll want you to be a part of them. Great guys. Honda guys are great. However, reason number 4 why I think you should not buy an Acura RSX is, again, we mentioned this earlier, I told you guys we'd bring it up in a little bit, but just all the problems that come with age, like the rubbers cracking, the electrical components just maybe not working anymore, or the seals leaking, are all things that you might have to address at some point in ownership of your RSX at this point, since they are, again, 20-year-old cars. These are not things that are RSX specific problems. There are any car that's 20 years old at this point is probably going to run into problems like this. It's not because Honda did bad building the car or whatever. It's just bound to happen. They're old, and unfortunately, there's just things that are just going to go wrong. So it's a little bit risky, obviously, when going to look at them. It's a little bit sketchy, and you could make a bad decision without even really realizing you're making a bad decision. But I just figured I should mention it. It's definitely a reason to at least think about and to look over the RSX a lot more than you would a newer car if you go to look at one. But reason number 5 why I think you should buy an Acura RSX is, of course, the handling. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of what it's known for. I mean, the Integra, for those who don't know, the previous generation, the DC4, well, technically the DC2 Type R Integras, were the fastest front-wheel drive car in the world when they came out. But then they lost that title. But who did they lose it to, you may be asking? Well, they lost it to the next generation, the DC5 Integra Type R, or the RSX. Yeah, it was, I mean, it's incredible. There are definitely a lot of people out there that will tell you the handling on the RSX is worse than the Integra, just because it's a little bit heavier and the suspension is like set up a little bit differently and people don't like it that way. I don't know, there's something about that. But people will tell you that the Integra feels a little bit, again, the DC4, DC2s feel a little bit more driver friendly, track focused, whatever, handling that feels just overall better in those generations. But the times don't lie, the RSX was the faster car, and part of that is definitely 100% because of the horsepower gains, sure, but it's also because the car still handled incredibly well and is a lot of fun to drive as a driver's car. But of course, reason number 5 why I think you should not buy an Acura RSX is the stock performance. We talked about the tuning potential of this car. Having the K series under the hood is obviously a big beauty, but there's no denying the fact that a bone stock RSX is going to be underwhelming. Ask me how I know. My Integra was extremely underwhelming when I first got in it. I went from a 350Z to the Integra, and while I will 100% admit, even at stock, you could clearly tell the handling characteristics of the two cars were completely different, and the Integra felt a lot more fun going around the corners. There is still that part of me, just like every other car guy in the world. Yes, we can admit it, guys, all right? I don't know why people act like they have to be ashamed when they say that they like this, but I like going fast in a straight line sometimes, just like everyone else. And unfortunately, these cars were just not built for that, and the performance is going to show that. They're very slow and they're very sluggish off the line and stuff like that. And so it's going to be a little bit boring and a little bit disappointing at first. Now, I want to make it clear, though, that does not mean I think they're very slow, boring cars. No, it just takes a little bit of work, a little bit of money to put into these cars to make them absolute track weapons that are going to be fun as hell to drive no matter what you're doing, whether it's a straight line, corners, 90-degree angle, or freaking driving it up a mountain. It's going to be fun as hell. But bone stock, you're going to be wishing for something more. So my final thoughts, though, do I think that you should buy an Acura RSX? Or more so, do I think that they're good cars? Do I think that they're cool cars? Yeah, I think they're an incredible option, obviously. If you don't mind having a front-wheel drive, low-power car at first, then I think they're incredible. It's very easy to make them faster. They do it reliably. The cars themselves are extremely reliable just in general. However, if all you're looking for is like a daily driver and nothing to do with performance, and that's all you care about, just getting from point A to point B, then I would obviously just recommend sticking with like an 8th gen Civic. They're much cheaper than the RSX and just as reliable. As a matter of fact, they also have a K series too, so if you ever do end up wanting to build power on them, you could just do it with those cars. This is basically what I'm trying to say is if you're just looking for like a daily, I don't think this is the best option for you. They are a coupe. They don't have a lot of space in them. They're a sports car at the end of the day, and you're probably not going to get what you want out of it if you're looking for a daily driver. They're also more expensive than they should be because of JDM tax, and it's just, there are some problems with the car, don't get me wrong, but overall I think the car is still an incredible option, especially for a JDM car in 2026. I mean, there's just no real cheap options anymore that are actually like worth the price, and I think the RSX still kind of is. Is it a little bit more than it should be? Sure, I think it could definitely drop like a couple $1,000s, maybe $2,000 or $3,000 off of a Type S price, and it would be around what it should be worth in this year. But again, you kind of have to you kind of have to assume that's going to happen, man. It's 2026. The JDM tax has just absolutely shafted us. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video on the 5 reasons why you should and the 5 reasons why you should not buy an Acura RSX. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what reviews I'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And yeah, guys, that's it. Let me know what other cars you'd like to see me do these 5 reasons why you should and 5 reasons why you should not style videos on. I figured we would do the RSX real quick because we just did the Integra, so I was like, let's just get the RSX out, you know, because they're pretty similar in terms of like reasons why you should and reasons why you shouldn't. They're very similar cars in that sense. And so I was like, sure, let's just get it out there. That way I don't forget about it and don't like never end up doing it. I do that a lot. Like I'll like do a car and then people will be like, hey, do this generation, like for example, I'll do like the S13. I'll do like a good, bad, and ugly on the S13 or something, and then people in the comments will be like, "Thank you, but could you do one on the S14?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, sure." And then I forget about it, and then I'll think about like, okay, what should I do a good, bad, and ugly on today? S13. No, I already did the S chassis, but I didn't do the S14. I just did the S13. It's all, I get all over the place with that sometimes. So I figured let's just get the RSX done now. That way we're done with Integras for a very long time. And there's still the first 2 generations of the Integras that I still have to do at some point. But for a while, we're good. At least the 2 that are like the most wanted, most important Integra generations are done. So all good with that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I feel like we're doing pretty good with keeping the video shorter today, so I'm going to keep this outro relatively short to keep the video short again. And Das Vidania, have a nice night.